Hello, happy stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, bringing you an original card today. As I said in my last video, I've been having my little battle with COVID, and in the process, many of my friends have sent me cards, and I saw one that kind of inspired me to make this one today. So let me share with you how we're going to do that. I used the Garden Wishes stamp set, this design right here. Then I used the Dragonfly garden stamp set for this little group of dragonflies. I used Forever Fern for a simple hello card. And we used the largest of the layering circles dies, which is a 2 7/8 inch die. So those are the things we used that we will be using. I used Bumblebee and Cinnamon Cider cardstock. I will use basic white thick 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4 to make an A2 base for my card. For this section, I cut 2 pieces, one from Bumblebee 4 1/4 by 5.5, one from Cinnamon Cider 4 1/4 by 5.5. Then I placed them on top of each other like this and used the circle die and cut out both pieces. So this card will be the reverse pieces of this card. So I put them to good use. Okay. When I used the die to cut out the circles, it leaves, I don't know if you can see it in the video, there's a little bit of an edge there. And that kind of messed with my stamping. So I took my bone folder and I just kind of pressed that out a little bit. Just kind of flattened it a little bit. It still shows, and that's okay with me, but I just wanted it to be a little bit flatter so that the stamping would stay where I wanted, would not have gaps in it. Then I placed it onto just a piece of scratch paper with removable adhesive so that I can hold it in place. So we'll put that down first. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then make sure I do the right side here, and then some on the circle, which is going to go in here. Okay, now I am using a tray from previous ownership, from previous Stampin' Up! Catalogs. I'm using one of the basic metallic embossing powders, and this one is copper. And then also an embossing buddy. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these anymore, but I have had several, and you really do need them to get the oils and things off of your cardstock so that the embossing powder doesn't stick where you don't want it, because it can stick to oils from your fingers and just static even. And so I'm just gonna tap that on there and rub that over that like that. I'm using Versamark ink, and here we go. Now these are going to overlap a little bit, and that's okay. This first one, I am lining up the bottom of the design with the bottom of the card so that this design ends up kind of in the middle of my circle. And I'm just pressing fairly hard so that I get over that edge, but trying very hard not to rock it so I don't get those edges I don't want. And then this one is going to come down and go out this way a little bit. And this one's going to do this way. And I didn't really worry about overlapping them. Okay. Then we will make sure everything's good and covered. And then there's always a couple of spots that I don't want, so I just bring in a paintbrush and knock those off, blow them away, just like that. Now typically I would preheat my heat tool. I'll let that preheat while I put my stuff back into my container. I got these cute little spoons out. It's a teacher's tool for science experiments for the classroom. I got it when I was teaching. They come in pretty handy for scooping that. Oh, I wanted to, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I guess I could do the rest of this. I'm not thinking. Okay, so I'm going to add the rest of my little dragonflies here as well. Might as well do those. I'm going to have some come here. And I think I'll have some come over here. Let's go ahead and get those. I forgot to do those. So let's go ahead and get those powdered up. And I don't have to worry about being careful with what I use because I've got my tray there and it just captures everything and I'm able to save it. And I'm going to put my hello. And there. Now it's ready to be heat set. We'll start with this up here. Watch it turn to sparkle. This is going to make your paper or your cardstock or whatever curl just a little bit. That's going to be okay because you're going to fasten it down with adhesive and it's going to be fine. Almost got it. And there we go. There's that. Now I can pull it up. It's going to come apart. That's okay. And we'll take that temporary adhesive off the back of these. Just brush it away. That's what's nice about that removable adhesive is you just run your finger on it and away it goes. I use it a lot in my card making to hold things in place when I'm working on them, and also to test where things are going to be on a card, because then you can test where they're going to be and you don't have to worry about damaging the card or sticking something where you don't want it. Now I made this to cover the entire front of the card, and so I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal. And I don't know about you, but I have a tendency, if I'm not careful, to have this adhesive go off the edge, and then I have to deal with keeping it out of the way. I have discovered that if you put the edge you're putting the adhesive on facing you, then you can see where you're laying it, and you can still get fairly close to the edge without going over the edge. So that's what I have started doing. I don't know if I'm the only dummy out there that it took 6 months to figure out. But anyway, just thought I'd share that little trick. And we'll stick this down. Oh, I'm going to put, now that I think about it, I am going to put a few little spots around the circle too, so it'll stay down good. Oops. That was unique. I haven't done that before. That's okay. It's savable. We'll just take that off. There we go. Okay, and then we'll get this on here first. Line up those edges. There's that. And then this one, you just got to make sure you put it in so that it's lined up when you put it in. I'm going to put the adhesive in there like that. And then this is the easiest one to line up, and if I line it up, the rest will just be in place. So I'm going to do it that way. And there is the card. And then I added a bumblebee trinket with a little glue dot. I'm not sure I like the bumblebee trinket because it's so gold next to the carpet. Copper, I mean. If I had used gold, it might have blended better, but I didn't know, after I put it on there, I didn't know if I really needed to worry about it blending. So there is today's project. I'm glad you stopped by. Be sure and check out my blog. There is a paper sale going on through the month of July. The Designer Series papers are on sale. I think they're 10% off. I'm not sure. Anyway, all the information's on my blog, and the link to that is in my description box below. Thanks again for stopping by.